So what you saw in that previous video was called salting the earth. Basically, if you spread a bunch of salt all over dirt, then that dirt becomes inhospitable to crops. And if you were doing this as an act of war, it would be a war crime. Now, as many people pointed out in that video, yes, I know, the Geneva Convention doesn't apply to civilians. But the point is that if something is extreme enough that the Geneva Convention says you should not do this in times of war, then you probably shouldn't do it to your neighbor who is growing a garden to feed homeless people. Because, it's too cruel to be used against an enemy in a time of war without violating the Geneva Convention. Anyway, the reason why you're not allowed to do this is because you're not allowed to prevent people from rebuilding. If salting the earth was allowed, you could basically get rid of entire countries. You could basically say your only choice is to move off your land or die. Specifically, as outlined by the Geneva Convention, you can't in a time of war do this act against civilians. Because people who are not involved in the war should not be deprived their ability to live. So if you were a soldier, you would be committing a war crime if you salted that lady's crops. But since the person who did it wasn't a soldier and just decided that they hated homeless people, I guess it's okay. Still makes them a dick though.